Hello Sparkly you, and welcome back to our channel. The video that you're about to see is taken from my live Friday night show, and this week I'll be showing you some fabulous jewellery trends for 2024. Let's listen in. Friday night! Woo! Hi everybody! Happy Friday! It's lovely to have your company on this beautiful Friday evening in December. Yeah, it's still December. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you had a fabulous Christmas. It was only a couple of days ago, if you can believe that. I know, and last time we spoke, well, unless I've seen you this week, last time I was here with you, it was just before Christmas, wasn't it? The 23rd, and we were all very excited, and it was all very sparkly. And now it's all gone for another year. And we've got New Year to look forward to, though. And then, of course, we've got spring to look forward to as well. Happy times. So if you are watching with me tonight, then do pop on and say hi. It's lovely to know that I've got your company. It is, I only said spring jewellery trends. It's jewellery trends throughout the year of 2024 tonight. I'm going to tell you what to expect, taken from some of the catwalk shows that we've seen and some of the trends that I've seen kind of coming through. And I'm going to show you what to expect and what's in and what's out. Not that anything's really ever out in jewellery, is it? But the new trends for the coming year, which is always very exciting. Now, I will preface that by saying that, of course, we are style and not particular or not just fashion. So style never goes out of fashion. So, you know, we always like to wear what we want, don't we? But it's nice to know what trends are coming through. And sometimes you accidentally tap into a trend. Do you ever do that? And especially where the 1970s come round. Adam is always on trend, just straight away, even if he doesn't realise it. And he has loads of people going, oh, I love that. I love your style. I love how you put that together. And he just kind of, well, I just wear this all the time. So accidentally on trend is always fun. Happy Friday to Georgina. Happy Sparkly Friday to Sarah. Happy Friday to Kathleen. Good evening to Pauline Sparkle Night. Happy Friday to Becky Boo. It's lovely to have your company tonight. And yeah, it's lovely to be with you. I've just noticed that I've still got, look, I've got layers on. I've got my clunky watch on, which I normally take off because I get a billion notifications if I don't. It tells me to stand up. Do you wear a smartwatch? I sort of succumb to it a little bit because it does help keep me fitter because it nudges me, especially, I mean, when I'm in the shop, it's not such a huge thing because I'm on my feet, obviously, so I get up and I chat to you and that kind of thing. But when I'm sitting putting things onto the website, often I can sit for a while and I'm concentrating, and then it just goes boop boop, and it reminds me to get up and move. Just move. You've not moved for a while, so it is good for that. But it does look a bit clunky, so I take it off when I'm showcasing jewelry. So that's gone. Silk scarf I've been wearing today. That is my top tip for things to wear when it's cold. And it's, you know, I don't know if you're the same, but when you put lots and lots of layers on, you feel a bit restricted, especially when, you know, I'm at Adorn, I'm showing jewelry. I like to be able to move, so I like to have light things that are also warm. So silk scarf goes on there and it just kind of fills the gap there. I've got a very lazy layer on, look, today. I thought what I'd do is I put, this is the piece that I had for Christmas. So every year I buy myself a piece of jewellery when we close on Christmas Eve. It's my tradition that I treat myself to a piece of jewellery, just to celebrate the madness that is Christmas and that we've done it, hurrah! And so this was my piece this year, and she's on, she's sitting, as you can see, about 22, 24 inches. I just want her a little bit longer. So I thought I'll put her on, and I did this today and yesterday, and then I just want a slightly longer chain, and I'll remember if I wear her, and it just hasn't worked. We've been really busy, thank you. I'm really pleased that we have. It's been lovely to see you all. But yeah, so she's kind of just a layer today. She could do with just being that little bit longer. Good evening to Linda. Happy Sparkle Night. Linda says mine's the same. There you go. You see, just want that, just that little bit. I just want that little bit longer length. So there you are. I'm going to take this off as well, I think, in a minute, because I'm going to be showing you some big pieces of jewellery, so we need some space. But I thought it might be fun because it's the last live of the year, she says, going through in her mind. But it is, isn't it? because today, yeah, of course it's got to be because it's the 29th. Yeah, of course. I'm losing track. Yes, so it is the last live of the year. So I thought it would be fun to do jewellery trends for 2024 so we could kind of see what's coming and have a little bit of fun with that. Now, as with all trends, you don't necessarily need to kind of run out and buy everything new, although if you want to, that's fine, I'm here for you. But it's always good to kind of have a look in your jewellery collection, and sometimes you can just get away with adding in a piece and then you've got a whole new look. So as we go through, have a think about what you've got in your collection that would work, and I'll have a chat with you about that as well. And you might just be able to add a piece in, and all of a sudden you've got the trending look. Linda says, where has the year gone? Linda, do you know, I've no idea. I've checked every cushion in here, especially specifically for the 2 weeks that somebody took out in November and lost, because I don't, I don't know where November went. This year it went Halloween bonfire night, Christmas Eve, and it was just all there all of a sudden. And normally, obviously for Christmas, as a shop owner, as a retailer, I'm now we're working on Christmas 24, and some people would say that would be that's a little bit late. Really, we should have Christmas 24 done before Christmas 23 is finished. So we're always sort of planning a year ahead. But even with that, this year, even with sort of planning what collections I was going to put in and making sure that we got enough packaging, all of that, we just suddenly pitched up in December, and it was just, oh my goodness. Oh, but fortunately, it was all fine. It was okay. So that was all good. Happy Friday to Caroline. Lovely to have your company tonight. Hello to Kate. Can you believe, says Kate, we're on the verge of a new year? No, I cannot. It's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy, but always good. And if you find New Year a bit kind of pressured and a bit, don't worry. Just remember that every sort of religion, well, not sort of religion, different religions have New Year at different times of year. So if you're not on board with the whole New Year and you're not quite ready for it, then that's fine. You can just remember that your New Year can reset whenever you want. It doesn't have to be a big kind of pressure about New Year's Eve and about this kind of calendar. Whenever you're ready is fine. So don't worry. I'm going to show you some trends tonight, and we can wear those at any time through the year. So that's fine. And we'll also talk about a word of the year, which is what I do instead of having a New Year's resolution. And I found this a lot better. I started doing this maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And there is a fabulous lady online whose name I can never ever remember off the top of my head. Oh my goodness, it's right there, and it just needs to come forward to there. But I'll post the link. I posted the link last year. I can't believe that we're doing another New Year show. But yes, I did that, and quite a few of you, I think, did. No, it just came then and then just went again. But anyway, she does a word of the year workshop, and the idea behind your word of the year is that instead of making New Year's resolutions, which are very pressured, and you sort of, you get into January and you think, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. No, you haven't. If you have your word of the year, you can use that word to guide you throughout the year. And so, for example, this year, 2023, my word of the year was nourish. So when I was thinking about things and deciding what to do, is this nourishing? So is it nourishing for my soul? Is it nourishing for my brain? Is it nourishing for my business? So I kind of use that word as a thread, a common thread throughout the year. My word for 2024 is create, because a lot of the time I this year I felt sort of, I've sat and I've watched things and I've read things, and I want to be more creative next year. So my word of the year is create for 2024. So I'll post the link to the lovely lady whose name I can't remember. So if you do want to find out your word of the year, then you can do that as well. And that's all very exciting. Much, much easier and much less stressful, I think, than having New Year's resolutions. Kate says, Mum and Dad were married 31st of December. Oh, how romantic. In 1949. Wish they were still here. Yes, I'm sending lots of love to you, Kate, because I think at this time of year as well, it heightens everything, doesn't it? So the people we miss all the way through the year, we seem to miss more when bigger things are happening, don't we? So we miss people more maybe around Christmas, around your birthday, around New Year, and especially, my goodness, if it's their wedding anniversary, how lovely. So I'm thinking of you. I'm sending lots of love. It is tough sometimes at this time of year. Becky says Suzanne Conway. Well done, Becky. Yes, it is Suzanne Conway's word of the year, and she's excellent. So I'll find the link to that, and she does a nice word of the year workbook. She's just fabulous, absolutely brilliant. So, and that will, yeah, help you discover, if you want to do that. It's sometimes, well, I find it a lot easier than New Year's resolutions. So let's dip into these trends, shall we, and say what the catwalk's been forecasting for this year. So delicate, do you remember tiny delicate minimal has been in, hasn't it, for years and years? No, that's gone. We are big, chunky and bold next year. We're going for big chokers, so something like a really big chunky silver necklace, hammered silver, lots of texture, lots of fun, very bold, and layers are still here. But what we're going to do this year for layers is chunky layers. So whereas we've been looking at quite delicate pieces, not me personally, because I very rarely do delicate, let's just shrug this off. We've been looking sort of a bit more delicate for a few years now, haven't we, and been building little pieces into a bigger look. And I think that really helps if you are trying out a bigger look in your jewellery. So I know some of you really were not big jewellery people, but you first, all right, this is the nightly tangle, there we are. You found that creating that big look with smaller pieces worked for you, so you were able to kind of have a go at that big look without going for the bigger, heavier pieces. So this year, bigger, heavier pieces are where it's at. So your layer would become more chunky and nice and big and bold, nice big statements. Let's hold that so you can see. So we'd have a nice chunky piece on top, a chunky piece here. We're looking at layers are still going to be a big fashion statement. So layers aren't going anywhere. It's just the minimal jewelry is kind of going to take a back seat for now. And we're going to look at this bold stuff instead. There we go. So you could have a nice big choker. Your Adorn Talk, if you've got an Adorn Talk, would work here. I know some of you are waiting on the bigger Adorn Talks. We had a little experiment with those this year. And they look fab, but they don't sit like a talk. They sit, I know a couple of you have been and tried them on for me, and they sit kind of like more of a collar, an Egyptian sort of Cleopatra collar. They sit out from the neckline. But we are working on those bigger talks, so hang in there if you are waiting on one of those. Good evening to Stephanie. Happy New Year to you too. Helen says, beautiful. Thank you, Helen. That's very lovely. And yes, so we are working on those bigger Adorn Talks. Hopefully we'll have some news on those. But if you have got one, then that would also work for a chunky layer. So a nice big chunky top layer, a nice big chunky mid layer. And then we're going to keep that layer going, but with the boho, if we're tapping into the boho trend as well, we're going for really long midline pieces. This is going to be a tiara if I'm not careful, isn't it? That's not going to go over my head when I've pinned my hair. Let's put this on. So a longer piece down the center and really lots of boho layers. So kind of a little bit of a 70s vibe. A lot of the catwalk has been influenced by very early 2000s, which, oh my goodness, was yesterday, wasn't it? I've got some of my younger customers that come in that really like 1990s vintage, makes me want to weep. But yeah, that sort of late 90s, early 2000s is heavily influenced. So lots of their kind of boho hippie style coming in there. And I remember absolutely driving my parents mad for a hippie skirt It was one Christmas, I think, or one birthday, and this skirt that I'd seen, and Doc Martens with multicolored stitching and multicolored laces, and you know that got all written out, and definitely so they absolutely knew what to buy. And because I've got wonderful parents, that's I'll have to try and find a photograph of you, because I did get a nice long hippie skirt and Doc Martens with multicolored stitching and multicolored laces, because I'm very lucky. So yeah, and that must have been what, around the fourth time of the tree for the hippie boho look. So goodness knows how many revivals that's had now, but it's having another revival with chunky pieces. Wendy says, good evening, Wendy. It's lovely to have your company tonight. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. I look forward to visiting Adorn next year. Oh, I look forward to you coming to see us. Very exciting. This is a little preview of what you can expect to see. So those layers on there, let's leave those on for a mo. So you could go chunky and then team that chunky up with a little bit of boho. So as I said, you might already have pieces that you're thinking, oh yeah, that would work for that. Nice big chunky pieces, nice big layers. So let me give you some prices on these. The chunky necklace here, this is an amazing price because I bought her a little while ago. She's at £350. A nice big chunky hammered silver. And then we've got the hammered talk. Oops, what's going on there? That's it. The hammered talk there, £125, 125. And then this little diamond cut. So let me just show you a little bit closer. That's where I find out that I've lost the end now. Let's find it. Didn't screenshot me while I'm like this. Very unflattering angle there. I do apologise, but let's take that off. There. So you can see these diamond cut beads. They're just fab, aren't they, with that little bit of length to them. £45 that one. And then I've just had, just before Christmas, this fab Prince of Wales. Oh, he's not a Prince of Wales at all. He's a Figaro. Sorry, Figaro. With a T-bar Figaro chain. So Figaro is one link and then 3 little links. Yeah, Figaro, 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 Figaro. That's that chain, and a nice T-bar on the bottom. So again, that's tapping in to the early 2000 trends. Let's pop that on and show you, and that would make not too chunky, but a chunky-ish top layer. Let's move the pearl so you can see. There we are. So sitting beautifully there, and then you could go longer if you wanted to. Don't actually think you would get you might. Yeah, you might get that top layer on there as well. Chokers also. Chokers are going to make a huge comeback again. That sort of late 90s kind of vibe, isn't it, a choker? My top tip for a choker, if you haven't got one and you want to add one to your collection, if you've got brooches, they make sensational chokers. You just need a nice thick piece of velvet from Fred's in town or somewhere like that, and then you can pin your brooches on to the velvet, double tie, and you've got a nice choker. So that's my top tip there. So you've already got a choker in your wardrobe as well, you see. Let's show you another chunky necklace. This one you've been loving when I've posted on Facebook. Thank you very much for that. It's our chunky ovals silver necklace. So tactile, this one. Very nice and contemporary, and gorgeous T-bar fastening, which I just love, especially when I'm hosting the show, because she just goes on. Look how easy she was. Let's move the pearl. Come out the way. There we are. Or let's pop her down my neck there, so you can see. There we go. Over the polo neck if you want, why not? But she also looks fab with a shoulderless dress. The nice thing about necklaces, of course, is that they fill in the gap. So if you've got something that you want to wear that's a bit daring, a bit off the shoulder, a bit low, then this will fill in, and you'll find it makes you feel a little bit more sort of confident with necklaces. Becky says, I don't have a chunky bank account for chunky jewellery. Don't worry, that's all right. Sorry, I mean Scott. I will be staying delicate even though I don't have a delicate hand. Yes, but I disagree. I think you've got very delicate hand. I think that would look fabulous. But you can do those nice smaller pieces and layer them up for a chunky look. So don't worry about that. And again, just having your velvet in there and mixing that up, you can put one of your pendants that you've already got on a nice velvet piece. It's chunky, instantly chunky. So don't worry, we don't need the chunky bank accounts. Dawn says hello to Dawn. Sorry I'm late. Don't worry, Dawn. A queen is never late. Just sometimes her subjects arrive a little early. Welcome, Dawn. We're chatting about jewellery trends for 2024. I'm going to leave that on a minute because I'm going to show you the earrings to go with this. £435, the necklace, 435. And then we've got earrings. Love those. They were a little bit later coming in, the earrings. I waited for them and I'm so pleased. And they just sit really nicely. So they're going to sit just on your ear, just there. A really nice stud earring. Let me bring those in. I'll show you those. I'm just going to have a little drink. Cheers. I'm drinking. I've had so many of you, and thank you. I feel very, very fortunate. Buy me a nice bottle of wine and a nice little some little ports and some little gins. But I am on the apple and blackcurrant tonight for the show. I will be drinking, having a little drink at New Year, I'm sure. But yeah, I think it would all get wild very, very quickly if we had a gin before the show. So they're the earrings, £45 the earrings. And then we've got a gorgeous bracelet to go with this necklace as well. And here's the bracelet. And again, chunky on the arms and wrists. So nice chunky bracelet. This has got a T-bar again. So nice and easy to fasten on there. You could layer it up if you wanted to. It definitely doesn't need it. She'll shine on her own. Oops, that bangle definitely wants to be in the show. There we are. Why not? £195 the bracelet, 195. There we are. And let's pop that off for you. And then I can show you the chunky cuff as well. Chunky cuffs were everywhere on catwalks this year. Now what I've done, because we've just been talking about the chunky bank account to go with the chunky jewellery, I've kept some of our pieces nice and light. So this is a really good example. It's silver, but really nice and light. So that's the back. So you can see a really nice chunky cuff look. So we are 265 there, £265. And again, if you want that chunky look kind of without, you can stack your bangles. And then we're tapping into two trends. So you've got a nice chunky layer there, and you're also tapping into that boho trend with the bangle. But that's the chunky cuff. Absolutely gorgeous. I love hammered finish, which I just adore. C shape. Now, I would say with you, it's about 50-50 for C shape. Some of you love them and some of you are not that keen. Some of you prefer the full bangle. I have got a couple of chunky hammered full bangles as well. So if that's your vibe, then come and try those on by all means. This one's just gone on the website today, so you'll be able to have a closer look at that one as well. She is silver. She's picking up my studio, my dining room lights. So she's looking a little bit gold there in the picture, but she is silver. She's a nice hammered silver piece. Love. I do love cuffs. They are fabulous. And again, there's a lot about transitioning into different sort of going out, going to work. There's a lot of multitasking jewellery, if you like, this year. The cuff is one of those because she works just as hard with your little black dress and or your little black trouser suit as she does with your jeans and just like a plain white tee. She's still going to look fabulous. Very amazing, very hardworking. Wendy says, love the bracelet. Thank you, Wendy. Linda says, beautiful. Thank you. Scott says, Doc Marks, I remember the naff jackets. Yes. Oh my God, how cool were they? Yeah, naff and spliff jeans back in the 80s. Wouldn't wear them now. I don't know. You could go a bit retro. We'll have a retro day. I'm trying to think of the shoes of kickers. That was the big, yeah. Everybody wanted kickers as well. Oh my goodness, crazy. And some things are coming back in, but some things aren't. So yeah. Not that I'm saying that the naff jackets won't. They might. You never know. It's all about the branding. Pauline says, love that silver cuff. Thank you, Pauline. She's gorgeous, isn't she, this one? Absolutely beautiful. They're nice, big. It was something else that I always wanted when I was younger. A torque bangle, and I was talking to Adam about it the other day. You know, the just a really simple plain with a ball on each end. I really desperately wanted one of those, and I had saved up some kind of Christmas money and birthday money and all that kind of thing. And I think wages. I think it was actually when I was working, maybe about 16, and I got part-time job, but I saved up anyway, and I went to try on this torque bracelet, this sort of hallowed. Finally, you know, this is what I want in my life. I can see myself wearing it. I will be the girl with the torque bracelet. And it didn't fit because I had ultra skinny wrists. I was teeny, teeny, tiny. And so I know that's why some of you don't like the C shape, because you kind of, there's a little bit of flex in there. But we definitely want to avoid this because we get metal fatigue across the middle, and your bangle is not going to last very long. So C shapes, yeah, they kind of have to fit. So if they don't, I do feel your pain, because I've been there. I have been there with the torque necklaces. Just didn't work for me. And then let's have a look at an even chunkier piece, shall we? Let's just pop this off. Where are we? There we go. Wouldn't it be funny if I got that stuck after saying how easy the T-bars were to do? Now, if we want to go really super, super chunky, we can go for this collection. Now, this is the Dionysus collection by Sam and Harrison. It's based on the Greek myth. Now, you're going to test my Greek history here, because I believe Dionysus turned into a lion to escape. Was it a bear? It would make more sense because this is the bear this is the bear collection. Anyway, it's all about kind of gods turning into animals, and that's the story behind the piece. You will be able to find the story on our website because it is on there, and you would think I'd remember, wouldn't you? But I can't remember what he turned into. We'll say it was a bear, because I'm going to show you the bear. I love this. This is a great way to be chunky. Now, this is in a base metal, so a stainless steel. And the reason for that is because each piece of this chainmail, it's all done by hand, and it all has to move to allow you the flexibility of a scarf. There are no clasps on this bracelet, on this necklace, and so you can just wear it as a drape. You can pop it over, so you've got here, you can fling over like this. You can wear, as we've said before, if you've got the backless dress at the front like this and have the paws dangling down your back, you could wear it like that with the paws over, oops, where have they gone, over your shoulders, ta-da, like that. It's a really fun piece to wear. It's a piece that you can feel that you're wearing because it has got some weight to it. And of course it has to have that weight to make it drape so perfectly. Each piece of the fur made by hand, and each individual piece of fur, can you see, individually attached. So it's wonderfully kinetic, and it's always moving. So shimmers when you shimmer, and just moves when you're walking, when you're talking, when you're gesturing. It's wonderful. Nice and tactile. The fur, although it looks spiky, is actually quite smooth. It's not going to spike you when you wear it, which was my big thing. I'll just remind myself of the price. We are £595. I think slightly less now. I'm just going to have a quick look at that, because I really do think, let's have a look. We'll just have a look while we talk about it. this was the piece that Simon, who designs this, also designed for Game of Thrones. And I think you can see that influence in there, can't you? In the kind of chainmail and the handmade and that rustic feel. And he got in touch with us because he'd seen our shop online, seen that we got a background in theatre, and he's also got a background in theatre and television, that kind of thing. And he got in touch and said, I think my jewellery would go perfectly in your shop, and I think you'd really like what I design, and can I come and meet with you and show you the pieces? And I said, yes, you can. Always love that from a designer. And he came in, and this was the first collection that he showed me, and I said, yeah, yes, you are right. I love them. I absolutely love them. And that's how, and we've worked with Simon now for, oh gosh, maybe 5 years, maybe a bit longer. And that's how it started. It's £495 this piece, 495. I thought that, I'm just going to make a little adjustment on the tag, which will drive me mad tomorrow because it'll look very messy, but it will remind me. Where are we? 495 there. £495. There we go. Gorgeous. I love. And yeah, so you can even tie this piece. Where are we? Let's show you. Just through the top, and just give it a gentle a gentle zhuzh, and around your neck. Fabulous. And then if you wanted, when we're talking about chunky layers, we could go for a really chunky layer and have the bear's head. Let me just bring him up. Now he's tapping into the midriff length trend. I'm going to bring him so he sits just here so you can see what's going on. But this is part of the Dionysus collection. So here's his head, and actually it's a mask. So underneath we've got this deliciously spooky face, and the eyes that Simon uses, it's one special person that makes the eyes, and he makes them so lifelike, so much so that when we're closing Adorn at night and we've turned the overhead lights off and the showcase lights are on, they catch the light, catches all of these little eyes and makes them twinkle, and it really makes these pieces look lifelike, although they're watching you. It's very very spooky. So that's the chain, the pendant and the necklace. And then, does it get more chunky? You might have seen this. It's possibly the most commented on piece in our collection. This is the Dionysus bear bracelet. Now all of his tummy is chainmail, so nice and smooth. Again, each individual piece of fur all the way down there, and he opens his mouth like this. He wraps around your wrist and he bites his own tail. Yum. And that's how he stays closed. So that's the clasp. So you could have the clasp at the top if you wanted to, and you could see, this is a really chunky look, you could see what was going on there. Or as a little surprise, let me just take my bangle off so he'll sit properly. Let's just pop that one off. Blue John today. It was a Blue John kind of day. And then let's pop him on. Where are you? Or you could have him like this, just with the fur, and then he's a surprise underneath. So you can wear him either way. He is super, super chunky. Now, a lot of people worried that he was a bare skin because this is how he sits. And I have had a gentleman just buy him as an objet d'art just to sit on his coffee table. He was a big Game of Thrones fan. So he does look perfect. You can just sit him like that on your coffee table. But he is not a bear skin rug. He is very much a bear. Look, he's very alive because you can see with his twinkly eyes. Can you see that mischief in there? So he's just playing possum. Don't worry about that. All of his little paws there, look. All of that detail. His little tail, which forms the clasp. Even his tail is textured. The work in this piece is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And again, each piece of this fur is made and attached by hand to a piece of chainmail. So look, again, just wonderfully kinetic. When you wear it, it moves, and it's just got that fabulous. There, let's just sit in there so he can see what's going on. Sit up there. He's £1,250, 1250, and he's available to try. We have him in two sizes. We've got the medium here, and we've got the mini. The mini is tiny, teeny tiny, so if you've got tiny wrists, then the mini might be for you. Kate says, hey Bear, I have one like you. Kate, you do, yes. Kate, have you got the golden one or the silvery one? I can't remember. But yeah, I'd forgotten you'd got that. Yeah, the Dionysus. Wonderful. And there, yeah, there he is. So he is a fabulous chunky piece to tap into that chunky trend. Just enough time, although not really. We're over, aren't we? But never mind. The other trend that we're seeing coming through is colour. So if you are about dopamine dressing, which I definitely am, so dressing to feel happy and smiley and fun and it's all colourful, then this year is going to be just fab in jewellery because colour is coming back through with a vengeance. So lots of different chunky colours, block colours. Gemstones are going to play a big part. So we're going to have lots of gemstones. We're going to see those on the catwalk as well. Of course, your precious gemstones and your semi-precious gemstones. So the ruby rings that I've got to show you tonight. So there we are. So a ruby with little Art Deco baguette diamonds there. And she is £1,495. She's hiding behind my big blue jump. These gemstone rings are going to be huge. They're going to be good fun. So we've got the rubies coming through. Pink tourmaline we're going to see a lot of. The colour of the year is peach fuzz. That's the Pantone colour of the year. So I think that's going to fit in with some of your sapphires and that kind of look and that kind of colour. A little mini ruby for you there as well, at just over £1,000, £1,055. And then a beautiful, now, people who don't like asymmetry, Linda, look away. I'm sorry about this one, but look. And just with that half swirl of diamonds going around there, all the swirly curlies, and that one is £885, 885. So lots of different shots of colour in many different ways there, but the rubies are certainly a fabulous red. Oh, I didn't show you the hoop earrings. Let me just show you those very got and then I'll show you the ring that everybody's been talking about this week. So here, the nice hoop earrings. Hoops are going nowhere. So if you have got a pair of hoops, now's the time to, well, keep wearing them because they are going to be fabulous right the way through the year as well. These are £45 in silver, and they've got that wonderful textured silver to them. Now, the ring I posted earlier this week, I think yesterday, did you know we did engagement rings? Yeah, we've got a fabulous collection of engagement rings. So if you know somebody who's planning a New Year's proposal, then do send them our way. This is the ring that we've been talking about this week. Now, she can come in a variety of different metals and in either a natural earth mined diamond or in a lab grown diamond. Now, if you were to have her here, she's a carat as a centre. If you're going to have her as a lab grown diamond, I think from memory she'd be under the £2,000 mark. So we're about £1,600, maybe just under. Carat centre, all of the diamonds in the shoulders. But look at the fun thing about this. She's got a hidden halo. Now this is going to be trending so much. It's been super popular in 2023. It's going to continue being popular in 2024. A hidden halo of diamonds. So if you can see there, I'll bring her in. Normally you would expect to see this halo around the top of the ring. And now we've dropped that halo and she's in the profile. So just that unexpected sparkle when you see her from the side. Absolutely fabulous. Now, if you are planning an engagement, these can be found on our website under engagement rings, and you can have a play. So you can change the metal, you can change the diamond, you can change the size of the diamond, you can change from an earth mine diamond to a lab grown diamond and see the difference. It's really good fun. Even if you're not planning on getting engaged, it's good fun. Or if you already are engaged or married or have been married for years, like me, I still get on there and have a play because it's good fun to see what you can create. But that's the ring that everybody's been talking about this week, our little hidden halo. And I'm so glad that you liked her. She's very, very fabulous. Linda says, such a gorgeous ring. Thank you, Linda. Dawn says, love the silver hoops. Thanks, Dawn. They're gorgeous, aren't they? I do love those. Georgina says, fabulous. Thank you. Pauline says, I think they're like mine. Yes, Pauline, they are. These ones, I think you've either got these ones or ones very, very similar. So now's the time to wear them. They're going to be very fabulous, very, very on trend. Linda says, lovely hoops. Kate says, silver. Yes, you've got the silver one. Yes. Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten that. And yes, Pauline says, love the cuff. Thank you very much. So that's my show for you tonight. A little peek into the key jewellery trends of 2024. So we're ahead of the game. Of course, we're all about style as well as trends. So a lot of your jewellery that you've got now, we can build into that bigger look, which is just fabulous. Maybe add a couple of key pieces throughout the year just to get excited about. You've got tomorrow to come and see me. So if you want just everything that I've shown you tonight, or one thing or nothing, you just want to come and try them on, which you're always most welcome to do, then come and see us tomorrow. We're at Adorn from 10 until 5 tomorrow, that's Saturday, and then we're off. That's it until the new year, until the 22nd of January. So if you've got those January birthdays, then do come and see us tomorrow and get shopping for those birthdays. On a not a separate note, but I just wanted to say, I'll speak to you before New Year anyway, I'm sure. But if I don't, a huge, huge, heartfelt thank you for choosing us this year. If you've liked a post from us, if you've shared something that you've seen on Facebook, if you've waved when you've gone across the marketplace, for all of you who sent cards and presents, that was just an incredible, incredible surprise. If you can bought something from us, if you've recommended us, if you've watched the show, as I know many of you have every week, which is just incredible. I was talking about what a lovely community we've got, and I just appreciate you, and Adam appreciates you so much. And we were talking the other day about using the word love in business, and I know a lot of people are kind of maybe a bit cynical about it, and they say, well, you can't love, but we do genuinely. I always say when I'm talking about you, oh, I love my sparklies. I just love them, and I do. So a massive heartfelt thank you. I think honestly, sometimes you don't know how much you mean to us, and you mean an awful lot. So thank you very, 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 very much. And before I cry, I'm going to say I'm sending lots of love from my home to yours. And remember, until next we meet, maybe in the new year, say it with me: eat, sleep, sparkle, repeat. And I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. See you soon.